Habarigani. Habarigani. Hey, get a drummer some. We're glad that you are joining us here today on Kuji Chakalia. And I'd like to start off as we talk about self-determination. First of all, let me allow the drummers, each one of you, if you just step up to that mic over there and introduce yourself to our audience today.
Greetings. My name is Roots. Give thanks and praise Habarigani. Part of Sankofa drum team. Blessings.
I'm Sioweza Kuumba. That means unlike any other creativity. I'm part of Sun Conscious Drum Ensemble.
I'm Jakoma Kambui, Habarigani.
Saeed Akbar from the Sand Conscious Drummers.
Hey, I'm Kwame. Sorry I'm late. Lafayette.
Let's give them another hand, please. And the serious drummers and the brothers are volunteering their time, and we're very glad that they bring the spirit and energy of Africa to this event. On behalf of the Shrines of the Black Madonna, I am Walimu Olatunji Lumumba. We want to, on behalf of our leadership nationally and internationally, thank you for coming out for our Kwanzza celebration today. Thank you. And our co-host would like to extend welcome to you as well. Give your hands to Brother Emeka.
Habarigani. Habarigani. You know, self-determination is the essence of who we are by extension and growth and development. And today, we want to think on that, analyze that, and look forward to Kwanzza from this day forward. You know, I'm media savvy. And I taught public school for 20 years, and one of the subjects I taught was journalism and mass media. And I think I have to address a journalist by the name of Warner Todd Hudson, who criticized Dr. Kwanzza. By the way, People TV, I'm on the board of directors of People TV, and I host Black Fire Rising. We're going to be broadcasting this as well. When you have one of our own criticizing our heroes, who we have determined to be a hero, we have to answer that person. So, Mr. Warner Todd Hudson, your criticism of Maulana Kwanzza as a torturer and rapist, I want you to consider this, Mr. Hudson. Where is your criticism of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and their slave masters' cohorts who raped our girls and women for hundreds of years? And by the way, there's a thing in Miat called justice. And I think, as far as Kwanzza is concerned, he has paid his debt to society. So let's move on. Because we're not some blind set of people following people without knowing the knowledge of what's going on. But when you cater to your slave master as an Uncle Tom journalist, you must be answered with consciousness. And meanwhile, I taught 20 years, and sometimes I like to get into a teaching mode in terms of Kwanzza and self-determination. I want everybody, especially you young people, write down this name, K-A-R-N-A-C, Cognac, and Google it, because we have a lot of criticism of Kwanzza from religious conservatives, it not being a Christian holiday and all that kind of stuff. I want you to look up Cognac and consider the source of all religions in Kemet at Cognac with the study of Miat, M-A-A-T. Write that down and Google it. Cognac, Miat, and the zodiac of Dendera. You will see that our people were leaders of civilization, and in order to determine who you are, you have to know what you came from and what's being hidden from you in a field like Egyptology. The zodiac of Dendera is in the Louvre Museum. It is the most visited article in the museum. Now the Louvre, that's the world's largest art museum. And when Napoleon came into Egypt, he blew the zodiac from the ceiling of the temple. The temple, a holy place, where our people determined who they worshiped and what their religion was. Everybody else is a derivative. Be you Baptist, Muslim, Bhagavita, Buddhist, you're all derivatives of Miat and the Zendera. So I thought I'd put that on you. By the way, we also invented the calendar. The calendar was invented in 42, 45 BC, before Jesus. And this all can be verified through the research of my mentor and icon, Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop. And he says it in the title of his dissertation, The African Origin of Civilization. Abarigani. we're going to move along with
let's give our brother a hand. We're so very glad to have Brother Emeka with us. This is what, 3 years in a row? 3 years in a row. We're always reaching out to co-hosts to host each day of Kwanzaa each year, and that allows us to have community participation in the event. And Brother Emeka has always stepped forward to be a co-host with us, and we're very excited. And again, yes indeed. And as well as his influence extends far beyond what you can see, because our keynote speaker is actually on the road while we're speaking. She's coming from Chattanooga. Now that's got to be something real powerful and motivate somebody all the way in Chattanooga. Give a brother another hand. Thank you very much. At this point, we want to just acknowledge our elder again for today, Brother Takuma. And it is a tradition among our people when we come together to hold programs such as this that we ask permission from our elders. It gives us an opportunity to understand elder respect. It's something that we have lost a lot of as Africans in America. Our youth have gotten to a point where many of them don't even respect their parents or elders in the community. And so as we practice the principles of Kwanzaa, we are trying to reestablish those principles that will make us strong people, starting with a strong family to build strong institutions. And so here again, we want to ask permission from our elder, Brother Takuma, to come up and give us permission to proceed.
Abarigani. 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 It's with great pleasure that I come to you this afternoon and offer you greetings and also give you permission to proceed. You have my permission. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elder. Now we will move on until our candle lighting and what is Kwanzaa presentation. And today we are fortunate again to have Dr. Kia and Brother Jamoke with Queen Mother Mosi to assist us in this process. So if y'all will come forward, we'll move on with that part of the program. Thank you very much.
Abarigani. Abarigani. And Kuji Chagalia beads. That don't sound like you beat it. Kuji Chagalia beads. All right, talk black to me. All right, so yes, I'm very happy to be here celebrating Kwanzaa. I love Kwanzaa. It's such a great time of year. Give Kwanzaa a round clap of applause. I would first also like to get permission to speak. I like the way we did that, the elder, but I would also ask one of our, for some balance, female elder for continuation, for permission to continue. Mama Josephine. Thank you. Thank you. Ashe. And Brother Olatunji talked about the importance of how we use Kwanzaa to bring back to our consciousness and to our practice these principles that are important for the African family to strengthen ourselves, to heal ourselves, to take ourselves back to where we need to be as a people. I also would like to give thanks and praises to the Shrine of the Black Madonna for hosting these Kwanzaas for 7 nights. And thank Brother Olatunji and his committee, the African history class. And thank you, Brother Emeka, for organizing this particular event. I'd like to give thanks for our drummers and contest drummers. And thank you. Give yourself a round for being here today, celebrating Kwanzaa. Brother Kia and myself are going to do the libation and the explanation of the symbols, and really it'd be really more appropriate to do the libation first, so I'm going to ask him to come forward to do the libation, and then I'm going to go into explaining the different symbols of Kwanzaa, all right?
Habaragani. Habaragani. Habaragani.
Kujichagulia.
Welcome, brothers and sisters, to the second day of Kwanzaa, Kujichagulia, self-determination. How many of you in here, this is your first Kwanzaa event? Okay, welcome home. In that case, I always like to talk about what libation is, because we get so much misinformation from the media and things of that, such as the journalists that the brother was just talking about. And we take that for granted because it came from your master. Yeah, you know, that's what we do. You know, you saw the movie a minute ago where today, still 50 years later, our children will pick the white doll over the black doll. Okay? That's internalized racism. But this is not that show. Libation is simply giving honor to those that came before us. We do it all the time in the larger society or the European society. We have Washington's Day, you know, they agree on it even though they know it's a lie. We have Columbus Day. You know, they know it's a lie, but they agree on it, right? And they celebrate their reverence. However, we have a tendency not to do that. Our sheroes and heroes are just as important because it's their shoulders that we stand on in order for us to be here, right now, today, in the same room with the freedom to celebrate us. Is that all right? Now, some of you might recognize libation from Pookie them. You know, because I used to be out there with Pookie and them, and we'd get a little drink, maybe some Boone's Farm or some Mad Dog 2020, and we always pour out something for the brothers that's not there. Well, unconsciously, they're doing libation because it's innate. It's part of who we are. Many of us just are not in touch with it. So that being a little reason what we're doing with libation. At some point, after Jamoki calls out the ancestors of the Georgia community, I'm going to ask you to call out ancestors that you knew. You know, granddad, right? Grandma. For some of us, parents, brothers, sisters, and whoever that have transitioned on, but always tried to guide you in the right direction. Now, we also got some ancestors that didn't do so well. So they're still working behind the scenes, trying to live their life according to the principles of Ma'at. We don't want them in the circle at this time. We would like them to observe from the outside and allow them to be of observation rather than participation. Is that all right? This is a celebration of goodness and an ingathering for all that we have done. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and go into the libation. I really ask that during this time, you make less movement as possible, that you truly honor our oath and our libation to our ancestors. Is that all right? Ashe. We recognize our Creator, who remains hidden, yet dwells within and among us, the ultimate reality, who orders the sun, moon, and our human reality. Our fathers and mothers came here, lived, loved, struggled, and built here. At this place, their love and labor rose like the sun and gave strength and meaning to the day. For them then, who gave so much, we give in return. Here too, we will sow our seeds, build, and move in unity and strength. May our eyes be the eagle, our strength be the elephant, and the boldness of our lives be like the lion. And may we remember and honor our ancestors for as long as the sun shines and the waters flow. For our people everywhere then, for Shaka, Samori, Nzinga, and all the others known and unknown who defended our ancestral land, history, and humanity from alien invaders, we pour libation. For Garvey, Muhammad, Malcolm, and King, Harriet Tubman, Fannie Lou Hamer, Mary McLeod Bethune, Rosa Parks, Coretta Scott King, and all those who dared to define, defend, and develop our interests as a people, we pour libation. It is now our charter that we now call the names of those in whose life story is the wisdom that we seek.
All right, we're going to call the names of those ancestors who particularly were part of the Kwanzza community here in Atlanta, part of our cultural community, those who helped to organize events like this and spoke at events or drummed or vended at events like this. And we want to thank them, and we let them know that we are continuing to do the work of Kwanzza. People like Olayo Defunke, MZ Ashe, MZ Azikwe Olatunji, also known as John Burdine, Baba Amuiwa Skaggs, Ashe, Baba Kwaku Olu, Ashe, Baba Ijiri Algani, Ashe, King Farouk Brima, Ashe, Baba Aisha Nandi, Ashe, Baba John Riddle, Ashe, Baba Zota, Ashe, Brother Baba Patah Hotep, Ashe, Brother Lovett Thompson, Baba Asa Hilliard, Nana Before, Ashe, Dr. Kwaku Ando, Ashe, Baba Busara, Ashe, Malcolm Chinesu Ture, Ashe, Yebi Ture, Ashe, Baba Juju, Samadi Nkosa. And we want to recognize a special set of ancestors who made their transition this year as they continue to transition into the world of the ancestors. And I have their pictures and their announcements here in front of you. Brother Ahmed Sekou Toure, who was the coordinator of the Kwanzza Association for many years, we want to recognize him, Ashe. Dr. Sharifa Atma Ma'at, who also worked with the Kwanzza Association, Ashe. Baba Jim, Ashe. Connie Tucker, and Baba Larry Obadeli Williams.
At this time, I ask you to call out the names of those that you knew that were important in your family, in your life, in your community, that have transitioned on. Call their names now. Impinda Sarah, Madden Louise Watson, Pauline Gamble. If you are not ashamed of them, then call on them. If you are proud what they did for you, then call on them. William Moore, Robert Jones, Olive Jones. Ashe? For them, we pour libation. For our children and the fuller and freer lives they will live because we struggle, we pour libation. For the Nguzu Saba, the new system of views and values which give identity, purpose, and direction to our lives, we pour libation. For the new world we struggle to build, and for the continuing struggle through which we will rescue and reconstruct our history and humanity in our own image and according to our own needs. We pour libation. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe-o. Will everybody please stand? We're going to seal the libation with 7 harambes. Harambe simply means what's happening. That's all pulled together. Habaragani means what's happening, what's the news. And Harambe is the response by pulling together. This is how we're going to do all of this. We ask that you reach and you pull down. On the 7th Harambe, we're going to shake the roof on this foundation of this building, but we're going to let it back down so that we can stay warm and rain-free. Is that all right? Habaragani, Harambe, 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 Harambe. Woo! It is done. You may be seated.
Thank you, Brother Kia. Habaragani. Kuji Chagalia. So, my task, and I'm glad Brother Kia asked who's first-time celebrants, so we get to share some of the deeper meanings of Kwanzaa. I just wanted to let people know I had promised yesterday that I would provide that list that I was calling from, and I do have copies of this list. It has the 5 ancestors on one side that made their transition this year, and other ancestors who have made their transition over the past years who were part of this Kwanzaa community. So I have copies available for people today. So Kwanzaa, just like all holidays, has a set of symbols. Like when you think of certain holidays, you think of the symbols that go along with it, right? Like Halloween has, whoa. All right, he's all right. So Halloween has certain symbols, right? What are some of the symbols of Halloween? Pumpkin, jack-o'-lantern, masks, werewolves, all that kind of stuff, right? 4th of July, fireworks, right. All right. Well, you get the idea. So with each holiday, not necessarily uplift those holidays, but just for you to realize that with each holiday, there are certain symbols that go along with it. And those symbols have certain histories and certain meaning behind them. And a lot of times we don't know that. But with Kwanzaa, it's important that we do know what those symbols are and what the meaning is behind them. So we start everything by putting it on our African foundation. And I'd like you to repeat with me, Emeka. I can't hear you. Emeka. This is our African foundation in which you would set up in your home a place where you can put some nice fabric like you have here, African fabric, but then you place your Emeka, which represents our African foundation, which we stand on. Some of you all saw, we're looking at some of the film before, and you understand the roots of Kwanzaa, that we stand on a strong foundation as a people. We created the science, math, and astrology, astronomy, everything that's necessary for human civilization. Not only that, but we took those things to its highest level and gave it to the world. So that's the foundation that we as African people, the parent people, stand on. And so that's one of the symbols of Kwanzaa. Another one of the symbols, Brother Kia was pouring the libation. Actually, Sister Most, let's give her a round of applause also for assisting us. We had a balance of masculine and feminine. She was using what's called the Kikombe Cha Umoja. Everybody say Kikombe Cha Umoja. See, I do this every year because I hope that one year y'all going to be able to come up here and do this. I won't have to do this, right? Who can help me come up here and do this? Raise your hand. Call some children up there. Well, we tried that once before. They'd be a little shy. We're working on it, though. We'll prepare them next time. We'll prep them up a little bit before we call on them. Somebody raise their hand. Somebody tell me somebody raise their hand. Somebody raise their hand. All right, we're going to keep it moving. So the Kikombe Chow Moja is used. Come on. The Kikombe Chow Moja is used to pour the libation, as you saw at the beginning, but it's also used in the family. We stop passing it around collectively in settings like this. Actually, sometimes we used to do that back in the early celebrations of Kwanzaa. But what we do is after we pour the libation, everyone would take a sip from the cup, starting usually with the elders, and then say, Harambe. And then it would be passed down to the next person, and they would take a sip of the cup. You can just pretend. And say,
Harambe.
all right. And so that's the Unity Cup Kikombe Cha Moja. What symbols are you familiar with? All right. She was excited because it's her first time celebrating Kwanzaa. So give her. I'm sorry, sister. What's your name? Tyler. All right. Well, we appreciate your enthusiasm and desire to participation. So we'll continue. So the next symbol we have is Kwanzaa's first fruits harvest. And so we have this beautiful display of fruits and vegetables to symbolize our harvest of the year. Every people who grow food understands the significance of recognizing the Creator, because, you know, when you plant a seed in the ground, I'll have to ask this as a question, but I'm not going to do that this time. When you plant a seed in the ground and you nurture it, and you have the sun and the earth and the fertilizer, but still, if God's life force doesn't come into that seed, it doesn't grow into a plant. So we understood that as a people, and we understand that as a people. So what we would do is that after the harvest, when we brought in the first fruit started coming off the vine or coming off the plant, and we said, we're not going to eat any of this first. We're gonna say, thank you, God. We're going to say, thank you, God, Oludumare, Inyame, Olukulu, the different names that we call the Supreme Being. We're going to say, thank you first for giving your life for us so that we would have this food and be able to eat for the rest of the year. Ashe? And that's called a Mazeo. Everybody say Mazeo. All right. And then we have Kwanzaa's, then we have the Vabunzi or Muhindi. Anybody know what the Muhindi stands for? The children, that's right. And how many do you have in your home? You have one for each child that you have in your home, right? And you can have one additional for the potential of future children, if you so desire. All right, and during the Kwanzaa season, okay, let's do this one. And you have the Kanara, the candle holder. Everybody say Kanara. I already spoke about the fact that we are parent people, and we started in what's called Africa and Kibaland on many different days, and then we went out into what's now called India and Asia and Australia, United States, Central South America, and created civilization in those places. Well, the Kanara represents us as ancient people, parent people of the world. Also during Kwanzaa, Zawadi, everybody say Zawadi, or gifts are given to the children. The Zawadi that we ask that you give, and this is important because a lot of people say, well, Kwanzaa is just a black Christmas, and it's not. Away from it, thank you. So there is a gift-giving aspect to it, though, and the gift-giving aspect, though, is prescribed a certain way. It's good that we try to keep the integrity of it as much as long as we can before it gets commercialized. So Karenga, he said the first gift, the first Zawadi, should be a book, something to teach our children about their history, their heritage, and their culture, all right? The next Zawadi, after that, should be something that is purchased from an African-American vendor or African vendor, right? From an African business, right? Or something that the parents have made themselves. Or something like tickets to a museum, right? And this is really the one that I don't know how well we do with this part of Kwanzaa. Parents, we got to work on this one, right? The Zawadi really are supposed to help to instill give our children a reward for their commitments and work done. So what you would do with your children is you would talk to them at a certain point in the year and see what are their commitments, what are their goals. They say they're going to keep their room clean. They say they're going to get better grades. They're not going to fight as much with their brothers and sisters. What are their goals, right? And then let's say they have 3 goals, and they make 2 of those goals. So then they would be rewarded 2 Zawadi for the goals that they made. And those next year, they would try a little harder, so they may get an additional Zawadi, right? So that's how the Zawadi are given. Gifts of love for our children, gifts that support African-American merchants, gifts that have been handmade by the parents, and books. And I think we did the 7 symbols, except for we also should have a Bendera Ya Taifa, Bendera Ya Taifa, liberation flag on your Kwanzza setup, red, black, and green. And the red represents what blood? The blood of our ancestors, the blood of those who fought on our behalf and were killed. People like Medgar Evers, people like Martin Luther King, people like Malcolm X and others. But the blood, it represents sacrifice, the sacrifices that our ancestors have made for us. And the black symbolizes our people. We already talked about the significance of our people. And the green symbolizes what land? Africa, our land, our Kibulan. It also symbolizes the land that we have here in this country, on this side of the world, that we have carved out Beulah land, excellent, that we have carved out for ourselves, the communities that we're able to control, Oyotunji, and whenever we buy land and control land in our community, that's the land that's important. Even like right now, we see a lot of community gardens, farms, anywhere where we begin to control our land space is very important. So that's the green and the flag symbolizes. All right. And so the last symbol is the candles, the Bashuba Saba. All right. Who said that? All right. Somebody out there can help me out a little next time. All right, all right. Bashuba Saba, let me hear everybody else say it though. Bashuba Saba. 7 candles, Saba meaning 7. Bashuba is candles. So who would like to light the Kuji Chagalia candle for tonight? Usually like to get a young person. I see somebody way in the back there raising his hand. Come on. Oh, you got somebody close to. And we're going to all help him out when we talk about what does Kuji Chagalia mean, all right? So you're going to light the red candle. Can you reach it? All right, good. And when he lights it, we're going to say, Kuji Chagalia. Wait a minute. All right. Thank you. And what's your name?
William.
Thank you, William. Everybody say, thank you, Brother William. Kuji Chagalia means self-determination, speaking for ourselves, naming ourselves, defining ourselves, as opposed to being spoken for and named for by others. All right? And so we challenge you to take on an African name during the Kwanzaa season or at some point in your life. We challenge you to name yourself, to name your business, to really think about how we create ourselves. We did a very powerful exercise yesterday. Woo! Very powerful exercise yesterday at Tag Team Kwanzaa Celebration. It really touched me. He had 4 people come up, a man, a woman, a boy, and a girl. And he had people to say, what is it that the community says? What is it that we're taught to think about these people? And people put on a little post-it and actually put it on them. Deadbeat dad, welfare mama, slut, thug. All these were the different kinds of things that we have been taught to describe an African man, an African woman, an African young man, and an African young woman, right? And he asked them, how did it make you feel? Think about that. You're a man walking down the street. You're a woman walking down the street, African. And this is how people are looking at you before you even say anything, before they meet you, before they even know who you are. That's what you're coming into the space with. It was very powerful ceremony. So then he had people to take those things off of them. We took them off. And then he said, now, let's create them in Kudichagalia. How do we see them? Warrior, king, empress, queen, princess, genius, powerful, architect, doctor, engineer, whatever it was, nation builder, whatever we saw them. And we put that on their placards. And the sister, who was a woman who represented the woman, she cried the first time with the negative things. And then she cried again with the positive. But the thing was, she I think represented the emotion in the whole room of how we were touched and how we have to do a better job at how we define ourselves in this community, in this day. And so I would like to just thank Tag Team for giving us that experience and encourage people maybe next year to check their Kwanzaa celebration out. But I'm going to step down now. I think that's, I think I fulfilled my obligations. My name is His Excellency Nana Kwesi Jiboke Ifetayo Frimpong. And I thank you, Brother Olatuji.
Let's give our brothers another hand, please. Here in the Shrines of the Black Madonna, one of our first line of ministry for the brothers give the title Walimu. It's a key Swahili word that means teacher. And I am definitely passing this title on to the many titles these brothers already have. So for Walimu Kia and Walimu Jamoke, give them a hand, please. Okay, we're going to turn the lights up, and we want to take a break, a vendor break, because when we talk about self-determination, we have to be talking about economics. We have to be very clear on this. In a modern technological society where jobs are being replaced by technology, there are no longer jobs available for black people. Whether you believe it or not, white people are trying to take care of themselves first and foremost. And as technology replaces jobs, that means that leaves us in a very precarious situation if our whole understanding of work is focused on jobs, because there won't be any jobs for black people. But the Lord has already blessed us with many talents and skills. And so we must use those talents and skills to create our own businesses. And so we have some entrepreneurs here today whose whole livelihood is dependent upon us giving our dollars some what? Sense. Teaching our dollars some sense. So we want to take a quick, about a 10-minute break, and we want you to go around and visit each one of our vendors, and we're going to have them come up one by one and introduce themselves to you so that you'll know who they are, what services that they provide, and how you can get in contact with them if you need to, even after today. So while the vendors are preparing to come up and share that information with you, I want to start off with the table in the back. I'm representing one of the other many hats that I wear, the African History class. We have a class that's free and open to the public every Saturday from 1:30 to 3:30. It's the only class that I'm aware of that is a complete curriculum on the history of our people. And it's free and open to the public. And so if you are a seeker, or if you have any questions, or if you want to debate or critique, we invite you to come to the class every Saturday from 1:30 to 3:30, where we have a wealth of information and material that we can share with you. Can you imagine, for over 200 years, we as a people in America wondering, not knowing who we really were, not knowing the true length and breadth of our history, and tapping into all kinds of things that sent us astray. And when we were taught history, we were taught his story and not our story. But now in the age of information, thanks to the internet and the great works of many of our master teachers, the works that they have done in oftentimes isolated local situations have now been put online. And if you are a seeker, if you want to ask the right questions, then the answers are there for you. So we have cataloged and all of this information over the last 13 years of this free class, and we put it on an external hard drive. So we had an external hard drive that we can make available to you where all you have to do is plug it up to your computer, your laptop, or your big screen. You got over 10,000 videos on the history of our people. You have an audio library, image library, everything that you want to know. Most people who acquire it say it take them 6 months just to get through the wealth of information there. It replaces what we used to know as encyclopedias. Y'all remember, some of y'all old enough to remember, Mama and Daddy used to make sure we had a set of encyclopedias so we can learn some things. Now we have a digital library that's live and direct. So we want to tell you about it and share some other information that we have back there in terms of the African history class. So make sure that you visit that table right back there in the back. Okay, I need to have one of our vendors. Anyone else want to come up? Our good brother is going to be first. He's going to come up and tell you a little bit about what he's bringing to the table, and hopefully some other vendors will come up and share that information that we shared last night.
Habaragani. Habaragani. My name is Sean. I am an author and a business owner. The name of my book is More Than Poetry. And in it, you will discover that there is more than just poetry. I have traditional poetry. I have political protest poetry. And I also have social commentary that is delivered in a poetic fashion. I put my heart and my soul into this work, and it is from an African perspective. This book can be found at booklogic.com. That's BOOKLOGIX.com. And it can also be found at the back table. The name of my company is Extra Movers. It is a moving service. I provide moving services to the Atlanta metro area. We are a moving labor service, and we provide a full range of moving services, again, for the Atlanta metro area and the surrounding areas. I give back, and I do hire black. At my table, you will find other products. You can find out anything about my products and services, and you may also find out anything about me, and you may find out that I am single and looking for a queen.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. I'm Brother King. I'm with support group number 9. We have a table in the back to the right. We have nachos, cheese, turkey, soda pops, and water. Appreciate your support.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Mama Joy. I work with copper. I started making jewelry, sterling silver, and 10-karat gold. Then I became ill, and I started learning about copper. And copper is really magic because it helps the body to detox. When you see copper going black, don't be scared and throw it away. Know that something's wrong with you inside. That's why it's changing. And if you wear gold, gold will turn black. You wear silver, silver will turn black. So it's good to wear a piece of copper. You know, it tells you to drink more water because that's life. And, you know, sometimes we leave the meats alone because we don't know what the animals are eating, you know, and we are what we eat. So I'm right over there. The name of my business is Nubian Treasure. And again, my name is Mama Joy.
Abaragani again, family. Again, I'm Dr. Kia Nyame, and just wanted to make note of, on the back table where the African history information is, I also have the books back there by my mentor and friend, Dr. Joy DeGroot, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, as well as the workbook for Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. Now, just real quickly, so that we don't get confused on the name. Hopefully, if you were here or you may have heard about it, October 31st, my organization, Ujima Atlanta, did its first conference here that I have been doing since 2009, exploring social cultural trauma, a time for educating, rebuilding, and healing. And Dr. Joy was here. So the word post-traumatic slave syndrome, let it scare you, right? Because we're talking about what inherently is wrong and continue to pass on for generations without our knowledge. You hear it called cultural trauma, racial socialization. My work in particular is looking at parenting and and transgenerational impact on that of cultural trauma. So the books are in the back. If you really want to get yourself a stable foundation to begin the process of moving forward in healing, these are two important books that you want to seek out. And you can ask me more questions if you have any, all right? Ashe.
Okay, so if the drummers will give us a little music, we will, I want everybody to get up and at least go around and check out the vendor's table and hopefully spend $50 to $100 with each one of them. Thank you very much.
on. Jamoke, Sasta, come on, dance with us. Professional precision.